Hi everyone, this is a review of the new Goose Creek candle wax melts for fall 2022. As far as I know, these are the only scents that have come out, but there could be more because, as you may know, Goose Creek sometimes tends to bring out new scents 2 or 3 at a time, or maybe a couple at a time. So there could end up being more. I don't know if there will be holiday scents or not. I guess that remains to be seen. So one thing I do want to mention is that Goose Creek changed their wax formula for the wax melts a little bit. So before they were just kind of a standard texture, I guess, and now the wax is a little bit harder. So one thing I did notice is when I was trying to break off a piece, it was a little bit hard to break off a piece evenly because the wax is so hard. It still has like kind of a soft, little bit of a greasy surface, but if you try to now you can see I took off a square or whatever, a triangle, a cube, and it kind of broke a little bit in the wrong place. Now let's see what happens if I try to break another one off in the right place. It's a little hard to do. Okay, so I just broke it, but it's not quite exactly where I wanted it to be. And you can see I have this other triangle here that's a little bit smaller. I mean, not a deal breaker at all. I don't know why they changed their formula, because the wax is still just as good as always. Same type of throw, same quality scents. So who knows? So if you've never seen my reviews before, I don't look at the scent notes until after I've done the review. So I will get started with the apple bourbon scent. And we have apple bourbon. Nice kind of a dark, rusty red color. Notes are top notes of sweet apple, middle notes of cinnamon, and base notes of bourbon and woods. And one thing I do notice with some of these scents is they list the main notes, but I'm sure that there are more notes than just apple, cinnamon, bourbon, and woods. So there probably are other notes that are just not listed. On cold sniff, this smells a bit like apple cider, but sweeter. When melted, however, the rich, sweet bourbon note really comes out, and it's almost an equal note. The bourbon is almost equal with the apple. I also detect a tiny bit of cinnamon. It's very subtle. Not like a typical apple cinnamon scent. I really, really like this scent. Throw is bold. 5 out of 5. It took over the entire house. So, apple bourbon, fantastic scent. I think this scent has returned from previous years. I could have sworn that there was another apple bourbon scent a couple years ago. I don't think I ever reviewed it. So, it is a returning scent, I believe. Another returning scent is Blackberry Bourbon with cat hair. Oh my lord. Terrible. Notes are top notes of juicy blackberries and green leaves, middle notes of strawberries and dark plums, base notes of wild Kentucky bourbon and warm sugar. This is a very nice, super authentic, fruity scent of wild blackberries. It's sweet, but it's not overly sweet, which helps to make it more authentic. I'm also getting another fruit, which I believe is boysenberry, and I'm not getting any bourbon at all. Looking at the notes, I think I do get the plum note and possibly a smidgen of strawberry. Like I said, this is a returning scent. It originally came out in 2016. The notes for that scent were blackberries, boysenberries. Oh, there's the boysenberry. Blackberries, boysenberries, and blackcurrant infused with Kentucky bourbon with the sandalwood and vanilla finish. So slightly different notes, even though it is definitely the same scent and even the same label and everything. When I reviewed it in 2016, I said it was a bit generic, but now I really like it. I think just maybe my scent preferences have changed, but yeah, it is the same scent. Throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5, would do well in a medium to a large sized room. Next we have Butterscotch Pop. Butterscotch Cake Pop. Notes are creamy butterscotch, caramel, spices, vanilla cake pop, and icing. This is a yummy scent of caramel with a tiny bit of mocha, like a little bit of coffee and chocolate. Looking at the notes, I'm not getting any spices, no cinnamon, anything like that. It's really all I can say about this scent. It's very, very nice. I really like it. The throw is medium, 3 out of 5. Would do well in a small to medium-sized room. It's a brand new scent. A returning scent is Campfire Marshmallow. Notes are top notes of warm vanilla bean and spun sugar, middle notes of fluffy marshmallows and warm campfire, base notes of toasted vanilla cream. I'm getting sweet marshmallow with a little bit of a smoky note and just a smidgen of a perfumey or laundry note maybe. That could be maybe like a cashmere. Just very, very, very slight. Very nice scent. It's the same as their Campfire Marshmallow scent, Marshmallow without the S, from 2016. Although the notes for that scent also included sandalwood, cedarwood, and peach, although I did not and still don't smell peach. The throw on that one was faint, 2 out of 5. The throw on this one is better. It's medium, like a 3 out of 5, would do well in a small to medium-sized room. Next is Carnival Apple. And this is a returning scent with a slightly different name. Notes are top notes of green apple and spun sugar, middle notes of light cinnamon and almond, base notes of buttery caramel and vanilla bean. This is a yummy caramel apple scent with some other notes that differentiate it from other caramel apple scents. I also smell vanilla, marshmallow, and even a barely detectable smidgen of pink sugar, which is a fruity, perfumey scent with marshmallow, cotton candy, and raspberry notes. Looking at the notes, there's no marshmallow, there's nothing perfumey, and I think I do detect a very, very subtle smidgen of cinnamon that I would not notice if I didn't know was supposed to be there. Fantastic scent. I love this scent. And like I said, it is a returning scent, but the old name was Carnival Candied Apple. This one is Carnival Apple, but it is the same scent. I did compare them side to side. Throw is bold. 5 out of 5. Took over the entire house. Fantastic scent. Next is Carrot Cake Pop. Notes are carrot, maple, ginger, allspice, cream cheese frosting, and vanilla. So, Cake Pop is a lollipop with cake instead of candy. Cake Pop is not cake-flavored soda pop. But on Cold Sniff, that's exactly what this scent is. It's cake-flavored soda, which is actually pretty interesting. It smells great, like pumpkin pie spices, nutmeg with a hint of ginger, mixed with ginger ale with a little bit of maple and orange. Melted, though, it lost most of the soda notes and becomes more of a regular sweet pumpkin spice scent mixed with ginger. Looking at the notes, they're spot on, although I'm not getting any cream cheese type notes. This scent is totally different from their carrot cake scent, which they had a carrot cake scent, which is totally different scent. Throw on this one is medium, 3 out of 5. Would do well in a small to medium-sized room. It's a nice scent. I kind of wish it had retained the fizzy soda note when melting, though. That would have made it a little bit different. But it's still quite nice. Evening Crafts. This is a brand new scent. Notes are apple, pear, peach, cedarwood, spice, and amber. This is a nice sweet scent of pear, wood, honey, a bit of apple, and possibly another fruit that I can't figure out. Looking at the notes, peach is that other fruit, although I don't actually smell peach. The description mentions honey lemon tea, and I suppose there could be a smidgen of tea in the scent, but I don't really smell it. I like the scent. The throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. Would do well in a medium to a large size room. And so we have Glazed Apple Donut. This is, I believe, this is a brand new scent. Notes are glazed donut, apple filling, sugar, and vanilla. Again, I'm sure there are more notes than just that. They're just not listed. This is an authentic cinnamon donut scent with powdered sugar and a hint of apple. It smells like their warm donut sugar scent combined with apple. I can actually smell the donut dough. It's that authentic. It's a very nice scent. It's also not the same as their cider house donut scent or their apple cider donut scents. Those are all different scents. Throw on this one is strong. 3.5 out of 5 would do well in a medium to a large sized room. Next we have Harvest Leaves. And the notes are ripe apple, falling leaves, oak, and maple. This is a typical brown apple falling to the ground and mixing with brown leaves fall type scent, which I love. But this one's a little bit different. It does not have as much of the woodsy note that other similar scents have. And some other scents also have a bit of a pine note, which this scent does not have either. It's a tiny bit more like apple cidery than the other similar scents, but it's a fantastic scent. I really like this scent. Throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. So yeah, I really like this one. Nice scent. Next is Harvest Market. And the notes are, this one they show a lot more notes. Top notes of applesauce, orange slices, and cinnamon sticks. Middle notes of apple mash and cool breeze. Base notes of syrup, applewood, and sandalwood. On cold sniff, this might be the most authentic apple scent I've ever smelled. It's like 95% apple, but with a little bit of an extra sweetness, possibly a smidgen of cinnamon way in the background, and a tiny bit of like an extra, like a freshness, like standing in an apple grove, or well, rather standing in the middle of a harvest market with a nice fall breeze. Melted, I'm just getting the fresh apple with another super sweet fruity note like cherry vanilla, with none of the extra fresh notes, and barely any, if any, cinnamon. I love this scent. Can never go wrong with a good apple scent, especially if it's authentic. Looking at the notes, they're spot on except for orange, which I don't detect at all. Throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. Love this scent. Next is Pear and Hazelnut Crepe, which is another brand new scent. And no, these are out of order. Oops, okay, let me change that. Okay, next is Old Fashioned Cinnamon. We got to do this in alphabetical order. It bothers me if it's not. Old Fashioned Cinnamon. Notes are cinnamon stick, autumn spices, and light sugar. This is not as straight cinnamon as I expected it would be. It's so much more. The scent description mentions toasted cinnamon sticks. And yes, it's mostly cinnamon, but it's also super sweet and rich, like cinnamon mixed with a little bit of vanilla buttercream. I'm also getting other spices, maybe like allspice. I'm not getting ginger or nutmeg. It's not a bakery scent. It's not a pumpkin-y scent. It does have a tiny bit of a cinnamon roll type vibe. And it could have a barely detectable smidgen of apple way in the background, but I'm not even sure about that. I'm not a fan of a lot of cinnamon scents, but this one's slightly different, and I really love this scent. The throw is medium, like a 3 out of 5. Would do well in a small to a medium-sized room. So, nice cinnamon scent. Would have liked it to be a little bit stronger because most cinnamon scents are really strong. So now we have Pear and Hazelnut Crepe. This is another, and you can see where I tried to get a cube out, and you can see it just like took a little bit more than I wanted it to. So that's just because the wax is a little bit harder than usual. So Pear and Hazelnut Crepe. The notes are juicy pear, sweet cream, buttered crepe, and brown sugar. This is a rich, tooth-achingly sweet scent of vanilla and milk chocolate, a hint of apple and or pear, and a smidgen of a nutty note. I wasn't expecting chocolate based on the scent name and the notes because it's not in the notes, but this scent is indeed mostly chocolate, mostly milk chocolate. It's a nice, unique scent, although for me it was slightly nauseating due to how sweet and bold it is, and the odd combination of chocolate and apple. I mean, I know there's like Pear's Helene. I think there's something called Pear's Helene that mixes chocolate and pear, but I don't know, something about this, it was too something. I think mixing it with like a milky vanilla would help to tone it down a bit because it's strong. Throw is bold, 5 out of 5. This one took over the entire house. But if you're sensitive to certain types of foodie scents or sweet scents, this one, again, I kind of could feel it like at the base of my throat. But it's not, I mean, it's a nice scent. It's just, just something just, I know, I wasn't feeling something. So next we have Raking Leaves. Not sure why it's yellow like lemon. It really should be brown, but that's okay, or orange. Notes are autumn fir needles, cinnamon, clove, leaves, and amber. This is a fantastic scent that smells like wood, brown leaves, a little pine, a bit of smoke, and cloves. There's something else in the background that I can't figure out that keeps this scent from getting too harsh, maybe sandalwood, but it's not sweet at all. There's no incensey or tobacco-y or patchouli type notes. It's a very nice, perfect fall scent. And you could try blending with an apple scent. I think that would smell incredible. Looking at the notes, I'm not getting cinnamon, and fir, pine, is the first note, although I don't find it overly piney, just a little bit. Amber is probably what I think is the sandalwood, and I'm sure there are other notes, but only the main ones are listed. I know there's other notes mixed in there somewhere else. The throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5, so a nice, really nice fall scent. Next is Scarlet Apple, and the notes are top notes of red apple and nashi pear. Maybe it's nashi, I don't know. Middle notes of red berries and apple blossom, and base notes of soft vanilla and sugared woods. On cold sniff, this smells a bit generic, like apple-scented room spray, although still a very nice fresh scent, but when melted, it's definitely not generic. It's pure, authentic apple without any cinnamon or bakery notes. It's also quite sweet, so perhaps just a barely detectable smidgen of caramel, or maybe just vanilla way in the background. I'm also detecting a tiny bit of some other kind of fruit that I can't figure out. It's a very fresh apple scent, so that other fruit might be pear. Looking at the notes, they're spot on, and I think I'm also getting a teensy bit of that apple blossom note that gives it a barely detectable floral note. Fantastic apple scent. Throw is bold, 5 out of 5, took over the entire house. Comparing this one with the Harvest Market scent, which is also a fresh apple scent, they are different, and comparing them side by side, the Scarlet Apple and the Harvest Market, the Scarlet Apple is more of just apple, just a really fresh, authentic apple scent. Harvest Market is also very authentic. It is sweeter, and it has maybe a tiny bit of maybe a caramel note, possibly, even though I really didn't detect it by itself. But when I compare the two scents, I do notice that this one is much sweeter, has a tiny bit of caramel in it, just barely any, not nearly as much as most caramel apple scents. But the Scarlet Apple is very authentic, just a straight apple, even though it might have something else in it, like another berry, but it's just a very authentic scent. That's all I can say. Next we have Warm and Cozy Cabin. Top notes of Italian bergamot and pine needles, middle notes of lavender, fir balsam, and warm amber, and base notes of cashmere woods, cedar firewood, and spiced patchouli. This is a woodsy scent of pine, smoke, and maybe a hint of oud, which is a deep resinous woodsy note. It's not a sweet scent, it's very rich, and it does have just a smidgen of sweetness and softness. I really like it. Looking at the notes, I'm not getting bergamot, which is a citrusy note that adds a clean cologne note to scents, as there are no cologne notes in this scent. Lavender is the note that's adding the softness and a hint of sweetness, although I don't think I actually smell the lavender. I think I do detect a smidgen of patchouli, but it's not a patchouli scent per se, so if you don't like patchouli, you might still like this one. Throw on this scent was medium, like a 3 out of 5. So it is definitely a warm and cozy cabin type scent. Next is Warm Apple Toddy. Again, another new scent. Notes are crisp apple, warm cider, pear, and toddy. This is a very nice sweet scent of apple and pear with some apple cider spices, but it's not as harsh as most cider scents. It's quite sweet with a bit of caramel and brown sugar, and I like it. Looking at the notes, they're spot on. Throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. And last we have Warm Pumpkin Bread, another new scent. Notes are baked bread, pumpkin puree, cinnamon, and clove. This is a very nice, super sweet pumpkin scent with maybe a bit of brown sugar. I'm not getting the bread note though, even though that's the first note. It smells like sweet pumpkin pie, but without the pie crust. And again, no bread notes. I don't know where that bread note is, but I would have liked to have smelled it. I'm going to check again. And, well, no, I think there's like a salty, maybe a little bit of a buttery note that maybe is supposed to be bread, but it's really not bread. I like the scent. Unfortunately, the scent was pretty much gone in under 2 hours, and the throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. So there you have it. Those are the new Goose Creek Candle Fall 2022 wax melts. If any other scents do come out, of course, I will review them because they do tend to kind of trickle out 1 or 2 or 3 at a time. And again, I don't know if there will be any holiday scents, but if there are, I will be reviewing them. If you want to read a text version of this review, just go to waxmeltreviews.com and feel free to join our Facebook group where we discuss all the different brands and scents for retail and store-bought wax melts. You can find the link to our Facebook group underneath this video and on our website at waxmeltreviews.com. Have a good day.